radio every day. But I'm very excited. You're on radio, you're doing this, that Marathi girl, then you're married, you're taking care of in-laws, you're taking care of husband, you're taking care of this house. How are you doing this? How are you doing this? How are you doing this? But you're on radio, you're on radio, you're on radio.
Oh gosh, calm down.
Okay, fine.
बस सांगते मी तुला.
Yay!
Hi, this is Meenal from 94.3 Radio 1 and I'm on Bhadbhadetalks with that mad psycho who doesn't know Marathi.
मी इंटरव्ह्यू घ्यायचा आहे.
Oh.
Hi guys. So let's talk to RJ Meenal. पहिलं म्हणजे what is this whole thing going on? RJ, काही कळत नाही आम्हाला.
Okay, so basically all the other radio stations in Pune have radio jockeys, but Radio 1 has music jockeys because we're the only radio jockeys that curate our music and our playlists.
Really?
That's why we're called music jockeys.
Wow, that's really fab. So my first question to you is, I hear that you started your career as a radio jockey at the age of 19?
Yes.
I don't even know what I was doing when I was 19. I think I was converting oxygen to carbon dioxide.
Yeah, that's pretty much everyone's story.
So,
even mine.
What was the first experience, like your first job, or how was it like?
So, I got hired by a Radio Mirchi way back in 2002. And the thing is that they hired me to be a radio jockey, but eventually when we were supposed to go on air, I was told that no, you can't be a radio jockey because everybody else sounded a lot more mature than I did on radio because I was the youngest in the team.
Okay.
And I think that really helped me because of course as soon as that happened मी असे ढसा रडायला लागली. But as soon as that sort of portion got over, I think I sort of realized that this is my calling. I love radio and I love everything that happens on the radio station. So everything backstage at a radio station was me.
So when you started your career, आई बाबांनी कधी ऑब्जेक्ट नाही केलं because that was like a completely new field जे कोणालाच कळत नव्हतं.
Yeah, but the surprising bit is that I was raised in Dubai. So most of the times we were always exposed to radio than TV.
Okay.
So I've always wanted to be on radio. Like my parents always knew that. And when the ad in the paper came in for auditions, my father was the first one to say, hey, like, here's your chance, just do this, you know. So I think in that sense, they've been very supportive. Of course, my brother has always, even today, tells me, when are you going to get a real job?
But he thinks it's not a real job.
He thinks it's not a real job. So, but otherwise, I think, they've been very supportive. I'm so, thankful.
Like Meenal's dada, it's a real job and it's a very tough job.
Yeah.
And so how did it feel to get your first salary at the age of 19?
At the age of 19, no. I got my first salary actually when I was working in Dubai at the age of 17.
17?
Yeah. So I was working in Dubai at a hotel.
Okay.
At the age of 17. And I was part of the housekeeping department.
Oh.
So I used to चादरी बदलायच्या, भांडी धुवायच्या because it was a service apartment.
Okay.
त्यांचं bathroom धुवायचे. So all of those things I've done. So
no wonder your house is so tip top right now. So you worked in a channel in Dubai also, right?
Right.
So what was that channel and what was your work like there?
So basically it was much after I had left Dubai and I came to Pune.
Okay.
I did my graduation at SNDT and then after a couple of years of working in radio in Pune and Mumbai, I got this offer from Dubai. I think I mostly got it because, I was from Dubai and I knew the city very well.
Correct.
So there was this radio station called City 1016, which, it was one of the most popular radio stations there.
Okay.
So I was hired to be the producer and the music manager there.
Okay.
But then as all my radio jobs, I eventually ended up becoming an RJ as well.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what I did there.
So you said producer. Can you explain what is a producer's job in a radio station or something like that?
So a producer is basically the guy who sort of provides content to the RJ.
Okay.
But असं नहीं है कि RJs don't do their own content.
Okay.
However, sometimes it always helps to get a second or a different perspective on the content that you're going to be doing on your show.
Okay.
Which is why there is a producer that gives you an overview of how the listener would listen to this radio show. Because an RJ sometimes is cooped up in his on-air studio and doesn't know कि आता हा listener हे ऐकून काय म्हणणार आहे. So in that sense, the producer always gives you a listener's
So is there a common producer for the whole station or प्रत्येक show साठी वेगळा producer असतो?
Well, in an ideal scenario, yeah, there are at least two producers in a radio station. But if it's a smaller radio station, then I guess one producer is more than enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another thing that everyone wants to know is, before an RJ goes live, what all happens behind the scenes?
So, like I mentioned, there's a producer.
Yeah.
Mostly, nowadays at bigger radio stations, the producers gives the content to the RJ.
Okay.
And then the RJ decides what his take or his opinions would be on
Okay.
these issues or the topics that the producer has given him.
Okay.
But in a regular scenario, in an ideal scenario, an RJ goes through his news pieces, figures out what his opinions are. But the most important thing for an RJ before he starts his show, which is why the morning show RJ is actually, like, hats off to a morning show RJ, because he doesn't get to do it, everybody else does. They get to spend some time in the office area putting up a performance. You know, that is the most important part for an RJ. The pride of an RJ, like, he's got to be a very, like, egoistic, self-centered, self-obsessed person, because that's how you are, like, you're performing all the time on radio.
Okay.
You know, and
So you do kind of a mock.
so you do a mock performance, you gain some self-esteem in the office area before you go on air, because, you know, when two people in office say, dude, you're so funny, dude, or you say, arey yaar, are you serious? Is this really happening in the world? So you feel like, arey, I am the first person to give him that information.
Okay.
So when you enter the on-air studio with comments like those given to you, then you feel like on top of the world. You're like, I am the star.
So is everything scripted? Like, for example, तुमच्याकडे खूप मराठी actors येतात, खूप हिंदी actors येतात, different NGOs ची लोक येतात. You interview so many people. Is everything scripted? तुमचा research आधी होतो का on the spot you all come up with some questions and you all just know the basic topic?
Apart from interviews, yeah, most of it is research in the form of just getting the topics and saying it on air and their opinions. Nothing is scripted, especially for an RJ. Nothing is scripted.
Okay.
You know, we just go live and it's on the spot.
Okay.
Yeah, there are pointers for some RJs, but otherwise, you know what you're going to say in your head and your thoughts are sort of aligned together, especially if you've been on air for a really long time. With celebrities, yes, there's a massive amount of research that goes into what kind of questions should we ask. But more than that, all radio stations, because all the celebrities go to all radio stations, we try to keep the content unique at every radio station. So in that process, you know, we try to do something different all the time.
So I know you have a lot of fans. I have been with you on this one road trip or something where I think these girls saw you and they went completely crazy. RJ, Meenal and stuff. So do you remember any fan moment in your entire career of 16 years?
Actually, there's just this one incident. Mostly what happens is, for an RJ, there's not... now there is a lot of scope for an RJ to go out and do shows and things like that. So they come face to face with the RJs.
Correct.
But many years ago, I was doing a request show.
Okay.
And a guy called me up and said that he listens to me every day. And suddenly he tells me, so I'm like, so what do you do? So he said, I'm a student, I'm an engineering student at COEP. And I said, okay. So he said, and you know, you're my relief, especially because once a week I have to go to the hospital for my dialysis, and that's when I listen to your show. And suddenly I felt like, Bapre, maji jawabdari vaati hai. Like, you know, I've got to make this guy's day.
Yeah.
And how do you keep a guy who's on dialysis feel happy? How do you make him believe that like life is so beautiful and you need to live it? So that's why they say that, you know, talk only about happy things on radio, because you never know who's listening to you when. And
yeah, because I think you all are like reason for making a lot of people smile before Kapil Sharma became the reason. But I think you all have been there all throughout.
Absolutely.
So if your fans are watching, or if there's some girl or some boy there who aspires to be you, the next MJ Meenal, is there any tip you can give them? Something that they can do, because I know it's a lot of work. I've seen you at work and it's so much research, so much background work, so much of studying.
Yeah.
Is there anything someone can do?
Not like me, but if you would like to be on radio, the best thing to do is just be yourself and keep talking to yourself in the mirror.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really cool idea. So, having said that, I know that you have some courses that you do, and what is this That Marathi Girl?
Yes. So, That Marathi Girl is a concept I came up with almost 3 years ago, where so at Radio City, where I used to work, a lot of Marathi celebrities would come, and the biggest problem with Marathi celebrities at that point in time, and even I think today, is that they don't think social media is a great thing for them to be on.
Okay.
So a lot of celebrities didn't have a Twitter account. A lot of celebrities, were on Facebook but were not very active.
Okay.
So I told them I'll do it for you.
Okay.
So that's how That Marathi Girl started 3 years ago. However, it's pretty impossible to keep up with a celebrity's life on social media, because sometimes they click the photos and keep it in their phone for days and they don't send it to you. Even if they send it to you, they're horrible. They do not know how to click selfies, most of them.
Right.
So so it was getting a little tough to at least tell the stars or the celebrities to, you got to be regular with this stuff, otherwise it's pretty much impossible. So that's how it started. But however, the need for me to tell these guys that they need to be on social media made me realize that I want to do something for Marathi cinema.
Okay.
Which is why That Marathi Girl. So I started doing movie reviews. Whenever these celebrities would come to our studio, I started doing interviews. However, they were all on a blog. They wouldn't be video interviews. They would be like on a blog. And that's how it all started.
Okay.
Then I said, "Arey, this is all cool, but paise pan banwala lagtat." So then that's when I started doing radio workshops.
Okay.
Under the banner That Marathi Girl. So currently,
What are the radio workshops? I think you've had a few workshops that you've done,
yes,
right?
I've done a couple of workshops. One is a radio jockeying workshop that is extremely popular currently. So I basically in 2 days, on Saturday and Sunday, showcase to you what the life of an RJ is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it engulfs everything that an RJ does not do, wants to do, will do, everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what That Marathi Girls.
And you're conducting these workshops
are.
right now?
Yes.
Okay. And if anyone wants to enroll for this, how can we go about this?
All you need to do is get on my Instagram, That Marathi Girl.
Okay.
And all the details are there.
And how did you come up with this name, That Marathi Girl? It's so unique.
So, like I told you, I was born and raised in Dubai.
Correct.
And ever since I was in school, in an Indian school, I was the only Marathi girl in my batch. Forget my class.
Oh.
I was the only Marathi girl in my batch.
Okay.
So a lot of times the girls would be like, "That Marathi girl." Like, who's done the homework? That Marathi girl. Who's not done their homework? Oh, that Marathi girl. So
that name stuck on.
It just stuck on, yeah. And even today, in fact, some of my schoolmates like call me and say, I cannot believe you used that. That was my word, So I said, I don't know whose word it was, but now it's mine. So yeah.
So you worked with Channel V also, right?
Yes.
What were you doing there?
So I was the music manager at Channel V.
Okay.
So
what is a music manager's job as such?
So a music manager's job at a radio station is to schedule the music.
Okay.
Every radio station has like a national music team which sends the data to a local team like in Pune.
Correct.
And in Pune, the music manager's job at a radio station would be to just sort of schedule that database. So there's not much math to it. It's just ensuring that the same song doesn't play in the next hour and things like that. But at Channel V, it's a lot about, because they get paid for a lot of promotions of music, new releases and all of that.
Okay.
And curating that music with old stuff.
Okay.
Of course, Atta Channel V has a lot of talk shows and soaps and stuff for some reason.
Yeah.
But in 2006, 2007, Channel V was purely a music channel with like small vignettes in the middle. So at that point in time, it was a lot of work, but now it's just like soaps.
So one more thing that we all want, actually all of us and even I want to know, is that when we send a request, how do you randomly just start playing the songs so quick? I make a request and the song is played.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like a computer. You just hit search and search for the song.
Oh wow. So I think all of you need to send requests a little bit more often. Let's try and stump them a little. How about that? So you are married.
Yes.
And your husband doesn't stay here.
Yes.
So how do you manage? Don't you like
there's Tinder.
Really? Oh. We just did publicity for Tinder.
Well, yeah, no, I'm kidding. But so when my mom was looking for boys, which by the way I have a blog for that too. So my mom was looking for boys, and I was sure that I didn't want to get married to a shippy.
Okay.
Somehow it was
You
really
married a
strange.
shippy.
I know. It's really strange that that's the only profession I actually said to myself ki anybody is okay, but shippy noko. Karan I don't know if see financially I had a job. I had a lot of friends for like companionship.
Correct.
So the only thing that I was possibly looking from a husband was emotional support, which you need all the time.
Correct.
And I am an extremely dramatic person, so I need somebody who can handle all this drama that I come with. So if I'm going to marry a shippy, he's not going to be around, So I said, Koni chalel, but shippy noko.
Okay.
But you've met my husband, so it's impossible to not fall in love with him.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
as soon as I met him, I said, I don't care. I can't leave this guy, so I had to get married to a shippy.
Oh.
But it's difficult. Hats off to all those ladies who married shippies like years ago when there was no WhatsApp and they
Correct.
couldn't even call from the ship. And
Has he ever heard your show? Like when he's on the ship or anything like this?
yeah, when we were dating. Oh, when he was on ship? No, I sent him some recordings sometimes.
Okay.
But
Was he
we get
smitten by
shocked.
the fact that he was going and meeting RJ Meenal? Because I know he had heard your show before he came to meet you.
Had he?
Yeah.
He didn't tell me that.
Oops. But
It's
he
been
did.
4 years.
But he
5
did.
now. But
What does he have to say on the way it's going? Because he's also like all of us listeners. So has he got anything to say?
not really. I'm very particular about who I take feedback from about my shows.
Oh.
So he's not really one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's my husband, so he's very critical of everything I do.
Okay.
So he does listen to my show. He says he enjoys it, so that's how much we keep our like feedback and
Okay.
talk about work. But
Otherwise, no.
otherwise, no, I don't think there's anything that he said to me that I would keep in mind for like my
Okay.
profession as such.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now coming back to what people can like take from this episode, especially if there's any voice modulation exercises or something, because I have a very squeaky voice. So I cannot go on radio because I will sound like a chipmunk.
That's a myth actually.
Why?
Nowadays, any voice can be on radio. Malishka doesn't have a great voice. She's on radio.
Okay.
And she's recognized for that voice now.
So are there any exercises or anything that you can do?
For that, you need to come to my workshop.
Oh, so you do have exercises?
Yes, there are lots of exercises that you can do for voice modulation.
Okay.
And it's a myth that if you have a squeaky voice or a hoarse voice or if a guy has a slightly feminine voice, these are all myths.
Okay.
Anybody can be on radio as long as you have the wit, the spontaneity, and you're an interesting person.
Oh.
Yeah.
So now let's go to the rapid fire round. It's a 3-second. You get only 3 seconds. And if you do this right, I'm going to give you a gift.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's start. So you have 3 seconds to answer these questions. Okay. Kanda pohe ka batata pohe?
Pohe is a no-no.
Really? Your
Yeah.
favorite cuisine then?
Chinese.
Favorite dish?
Dim sums now.
What can you make the best?
Nothing.
Really? Not even chaha?
Zero.
Okay. Chaha ka coffee?
Kahich nahi. I hate it.
So what do you drink early in the morning?
Milkshake, hot water, honey.
Okay. Dubai ka Pune?
Pune, all the way.
Vaishali ka Rupali?
Vaishali,
Paithani ka Nawari?
Paithani.
What's your favorite attire to wear on a casual day?
Kurta, leggings.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's your biggest competition in the RJ world?
Myself.
Really? Not
Yeah.
even. I think that's fab. I think that's the best answer we've ever got. Okay. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
My agenda for 2017 is to become extremely popular and famous back
Okay.
once again. So
Okay.
that's where I
But
see
you
myself.
already are extremely popular and famous.
Extremely.
Okay.
Also.
So that Marathi girl or being an RJ?
Oh, that's a tough question. But being an RJ at the moment.
Okay. That's cheating. Okay. So who's your favorite celebrity who came and who you interviewed?
It has to be my first celebrity I interviewed ever, Sushmita Sen. She was amazing. She was so supportive.
Okay.
I was so nervous. My hands were sweaty. And she said, calm down, child, calm down. First of all, I'm not understanding why radio stations are hiring such small children to do work. This is child labor. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. And
Your least favorite celebrity who gave you like a really tough time?
Neil Nitin Mukesh.
Why? What did he do?
He asked for butter chicken at a radio station. Like, what did he think? He was at a restaurant? Like,
Really?
yeah. आपने हमारे लिए butter chicken नहीं मंगाया? नहीं.
Was he being funny?
No, we thought he was being funny, but no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you have a blunder or something when you're live? Your reaction?
Always get into a song.
Always get into a song.
Yeah.
Your favorite song currently?
This one from Meri Pyari Bindu. Mana ke hum yaar.
So your least favorite color?
Black.
But you're wearing black.
Well, it's supposed to make people look thin, unfortunately.
You know it doesn't matter, right? For an RJ, how the person looks.
These days it does.
Oh yeah, thanks to your
So much
social
of
media
social
handle.
media. I hate social media. No, I don't. I love it.
So can you end this for us? But before that, since you have done such a good job on the rapid fire, Shreefal!
Thank you.
No shawl because it is extremely hot.
Yeah.
So can you end this segment and this episode in a full RJ style?
Sure.
Go for it.
And you've been with Aparna, Bhadbhade and Meenal Sansgiri on Bhadbhade Talks. And if you want to hear more of this, then you got to go to the Anonymous Click Facebook page. Also, if you want to know more about me, MJ Meenal Pune is my Instagram handle. Go on it, follow it, comment on my pictures. All the action in the Radio 1 studios is what you get on my Instagram handle and my Facebook page also, MJ Meenal Pune. Don't forget to like my page as well. And don't forget to like Bhadbhade Talks.
Bye!